Most people living in the rural areas derive their livelihoods from farming. Rural access roads, therefore, play an important role in the daily lives of these communities.
It is very important that we have access for roads for the farmers to have their produce reach the market on time, so to avoid the post-harvest losses. Then we need to have the access roads.
The roads are used to transport farm produce from one area to another and to markets. However, most of our rural access roads are impassable and in bad state.
As you can see, the area receives a lot of rainfall and the road can be very bad. And it can be difficult for the farmers to deliver their produce from the area to the town.
Smallholder Horticulture Empowerment Project, SHEP, is a technical cooperation project between the Government of Japan through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, and the Government of Kenya through the Ministry of Agriculture and the Horticultural Crops Development Authority, HCDA. SHEP is assisting rural communities improve their access roads.
We have three components, that is production and quality control, crew formation and management, and rural infrastructure. The purpose of rural infrastructure component is to improve the rural access roads using the Dono technology, and also to improve the farm gate prices through the accessibility of the road to the market. The main objective of this component of rural infrastructure using Dono technology is to build the capacity of the farmers to be able to improve their own farm access roads, and also to make the farmers appreciate that they can actually do it by themselves.
Do-nou is a Japanese word that means wrapping soil in a gunny bag. The technology involves use of gunny bags filled appropriately with either sand, farm soil, gravel or marram, and the opening properly secured. Do-nou bags are used for raising embankments to prevent floods and has been used in Asian countries dating back to the year 2000. The technology is easily adaptable and has been introduced to Kenya in the SHEP project areas, that is Bungoma, Kisii, Nyandarua and Trans Nzoia. In Trans Nzoia, the Kilimo Msingi group applied Do-nou technology to repair a bridge.
Hapo awali wamama walikuwa
To cross this bridge, the ladies used to lift up their dresses to avoid being drenched. This was very humiliating. But after repairing this bridge, we have seen wonders. A visitor to this area cannot even know how bad it was.
hata mtu mgeni mahali hapa hawezi kujua kama mahali hapa palikuwa pabaya.
To use this technology, what do we need?
Kwa hivyo hii ndio Dono bag yetu. Na measurement yake ni hivi. Huku ni 60 by 45.
This is our bag. It is 60 centimeters by 45 centimeters.
Sasa huu mtungi ni ule tunatumia wa kawaida wa maji, huwa tunaununua.
This is the normal jerrycan we use for fetching water. It is 20 liters in capacity. But we want to reduce it to just 16 liters, as that is the measurement required for our maram.
20 liters inafika kwa huu mstari.
20 liters is up to this line. To get 16 liters, we measure 25.6 centimeters and mark.
Sasa na mark 25.6 ni hapa. Tutaweka kamba round ili tusaidie kumark.
Mark all round and use a string to help in marking.
Kwa hivyo kamba itatusaidia
Cut on the mark.
kata kulingana na hiyo marking yetu tumeweka.
So here is our measuring container, now reduced to 16 liters. This is what we will use to measure the maram.
Jaza maram na tunaweka kwa Dono bag yetu.
Second-hand gunny bags can also be used so long as the weight of the maram is correct. To understand how it all works, we follow communities that are using this technology to maintain their roads. First, the group will survey and identify the parts that need maintenance. For this group, this is the bit of the road that needs repair. The community is then sensitized by the group through a baraza.
When SHEP came in, I mobilized the community members. We formed a small group to be trained to work on that particular road.
The process requires involvement of many stakeholders, that is, the local administration and the local authorities. This group in Marani district sought the help of the local authority for assistance in getting a lorry.
Sasa barabara yetu iko shida sana wakati ya mvua. Kutoa vitu tulete sokoni Kisii au Nyakoya tunakuwa na shida. Hiyo sehemu tulitengeneza pato ilikuwa pato kuisha mzuri, na sasa tunaomba usaidizi wako mara nyingine.
Hukusema kama unataka siku ngapi gari?
Gari nataka siku 2 tu.
Basi niko tayari kukusaidia.
Asante sana.
Hata ukitaka gari wiki mzima, bora utafute watu wengi wafanye kazi mzuri, kwa sababu tunajua katika nchi yetu ya Kenya tukiwa na barabara mzuri, better road access roads, we can have better life.
A day before construction, the villagers assembled at the local quarry. This quarry was availed by the assistance of local administration. The maram will be used for the gunny bags.
Just check the size of the stone. So, like this one is too big, so you need to crush up to like this size. Okay. Please continue. Yeah?
The next morning, the villagers started walking towards the road maintenance site to prepare for work. The procedure for road maintenance is then explained before the work commences.
Wakulima wenzangu, mtie bidii na tufanye kwa moyo mmoja na tena kwa moyo msafi.
Make sure you have all the material before you begin the work. First, remove any stagnant water and mud from the impassable section. The drainage is also maintained, while at the same time, the unpaved road is maintained with Dono. Clear the drain so that stagnant water drains. The waste soil generated through digging the drainage is thrown away from the road. This portion had been spoiled by the groundwater. To deal with it, the subsurface drainage is first maintained. Measure and then dig a trench. Check the width and depth of the trench. For this particular one, it is 50 centimeters wide and 50 centimeters deep after excavation. We need to prevent soil from blocking the drain, so the bags were split to be used as buffer on the sides of the drain. Then place the big stones first. This will allow groundwater to pass through easily. When the stones are enough, we cover the top with the split bags before we place the Do-nou, again to prevent soil blocking the spaces between the stones. The other people prepare the Do-nou bags. To tie the bag, the top is held by hand and the bag tied at the position over the fist. This is very important for space for the compacting of the maram. Measure the other area that needs maintenance and then excavate the soil. The depth depends on the condition of the road and the traffic. For each layer of Do-nou, allow 10 centimeters. Then lay the bags in a row within the excavated section. The Do-nou is laid on the ground with the tied end overlaid by the Do-nou itself, allowing space between the bags for compaction. Then the Do-nou is compacted by a wooden log. The compaction of Do-nou is very important in construction. The compactor can be made from locally available material. After compacting, the Do-nou becomes 40 centimeters long, 40 centimeters wide, and 10 centimeters high. The compaction of Do-nou is very important in construction.
Why we use this material? Once it becomes very firm, this one can support the weight of the vehicle. That's why we are using the veneer. Otherwise, we just put the maram. Instead of just putting the maram, we use the veneer. Why? Because after the compacting, it becomes very hard. This is the reason why we are using the Dono bag. Yeah? Otherwise, you don't need to use the veneer. Yeah? It's a lot of profit here. If you understand, I feel very happy.
Anybody can take part in the construction. When applying either 2 or 3 layers, fill the spaces between the compacted layers before putting additional layers of Do-nou bags.
Again.
After compacting the final layers of the bags, apply a layer of maram. This prevents direct contact between the bags and the traffic and protects the bags from the sun, thus keeping the road in good condition for a longer period. Compare this with the road before maintenance. This is the road after construction. An example is this road in Suneka, repaired in the year 2007.
Basi hapa tulikuwa na sita ya parapara. Hii parapara ilikuwa magari inakwama hapa kwangu.
This road was impassable during the rainy season. Vehicles would get stuck here for even a week. We were later assisted to repair this road by people from Japan.
Kuja kutengenezea hii parapara na sisi tukafurahi.
We were very happy. They brought gunny bags, which we put maram in,
and used to repair the road. It is now good. Our produce, like sugarcane, bananas, now reach the market in Nairobi and even Mombasa.
Maintenance should be continuous as when required. There was a bit of the road that was maintained a year ago. When the road was checked, some broken Do-nou was found. The broken Do-nou is to be replaced with new ones. First, the broken Do-nou are removed. Then the spaces are filled by the new Do-nou. Remember to compact with a wooden mallet. To reinforce the edges, add some stones. Then finally cover surface with maram. For the Kierene group, cross drainage is a problem. The direction of the water flow should be checked carefully when constructing the drain. Although using culverts would be most ideal, they resorted to using logs as they could not get hold of the culverts.
This bridge we are going to construct using the wood logs, about 20 wood logs of 20 centimeters width. We are going to direct that water to the next drainage, and we are going to cut here, dig a trench of 2 meters.
The drain is excavated to the required depth. Grace explains the procedure.
We will put Dono bags up to 30. That means 3 Dono bags, layers of Dono bags. Then we put the log up to 50 centimeters. Then we put another layer of Dono bag to 60 centimeters. Then we put the maram, so it will come to about 70 centimeters. So we will now put a gradient. So we will add, either we'll put the maram or one layer of Dono bag to get the gradient, to get the flow of the road. We are going to put our first layer of Dono bag.
The same measurements and weights of the Do-nou still applies here. In this drain, we will place 3 layers of Do-nou before we place the logs on top. The edges are reinforced by smaller logs. Each layer is compacted, then the logs placed on top. The size of logs was strong enough to withstand the weight of a 7-ton lorry. These were availed by the community.
So now we have put the 3 layers, 1, 2, 3. So we have our 30 centimeter. Then now we will put the logs on top of the last Dono bag, the 3rd Dono bag.
Combine the logs with another smaller log. The Do-nou is then placed on top of these logs and then covered by maram. The logs can withstand the weight of vehicles not exceeding 7 tons. In order to reduce the speed of water in long and steep gradients, check dams can be constructed along the drain at 20-meter intervals. This prevents soil erosion and allows water to flow slowly.
Tutaweka Dono bags 3 so that ipate nafasi ya kuzuia mchanga isiende maji kuitapita.
The Dono bags are also used to reinforce the sticks along the check dams. Again, it is compacted and covered with maram. To prevent the Dono from being washed away, use pegs to support the lower part of the Dono. After the work, the local administration thanks the team.
Asante sana kwa kujitolea kufanya kazi ambaye ni ya maana kwa community yetu.
Definitely, Dono has made it easier for communities to maintain their roads on their own.
Tunashukuru sana, ingawa ni kazi ngumu kufanya hii kazi, lakini tunaifurahia ni kwa sababu tunajua ina manufaa kwetu na kwa kila mmoja.
Barabara ikinisaidia ikuwa misuri na nisaidia matatu yanapita, kila kimoja kinapita, hata kama mtu anaaga dunia hapa magari yanapita inapika nyumbani. Hapo wanafanya misuri. Kama sawa?